Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Brothers podcast. I am Mark.
And I am Sarah. Hello to all our listeners on Spotify and YouTube. We are so happy to be here with you today.
Yes, we are. Today is a great day to practice your English listening skills. We always enjoy reading your comments.
That is true. We love to know about you. Please tell us in the comments, where are you from?
Yes. Are you in a big city? Are you in a small village? We want to know.
But don't tell us your house number. Just tell us the general area. We love to see how international our community is.
Exactly. Also, tell us what topics you want to hear next. Do you want to hear about travel or maybe about food?
Or maybe about hobbies. We make this podcast for you, so please help us choose the next topic.
Okay, Sarah, are you ready for today's topic?
I am very ready, Mark. What are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about a big life choice. The topic is living alone versus living with others.
Ooh, that is a very interesting topic. It is something everyone thinks about.
Yes, most adults have to decide, do I want my own apartment or do I want to live with friends or family?
Both options have good points and both have bad points.
I agree. I have done both. I lived with roommates for 5 years, and now I live alone.
And I live with my husband now, but I lived alone before, so we have a lot of stories to share.
Oh no, I am scared to hear your stories, Sarah.
Don't worry, Mark. They are funny stories. Well, mostly funny.
Okay, let's start with the first option, living alone.
Living alone, just you and your house. What do you think is the best part of living alone, Mark?
For me, the best part is the freedom.
Freedom? What do you mean?
I mean, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. If I want to eat pizza for breakfast, I can.
Pizza for breakfast? That sounds unhealthy, Mark.
It is delicious. But the point is, nobody can tell me no. If I want to watch TV at 2 a.m., I can do it.
That is true. You don't have to worry about noise.
Exactly. When I live alone, I am the king of my castle. I can leave my socks on the floor if I want to.
Oh, Mark, please pick up your socks. That is messy.
I know. I usually pick them up. But if I forget, nobody gets angry. That's nice.
I agree with you about the quiet. When I lived alone, I loved the silence.
You like to read, right?
Yes, I love reading. When you live alone, the house is very quiet. You can sit on the sofa, read a book, and drink tea. It is very peaceful.
That sounds nice. But for me, sometimes the silence is too much.
Too much? You mean it's too quiet?
Yes. Sometimes living alone feels a bit lonely.
I understand that. When you come home from work, the house is empty. There's nobody to say hello.
Exactly. If I have a bad day, I just sit alone. There's nobody to talk to. I have to call a friend on the phone.
And sometimes calling on the phone is not the same. It's nice to see a face.
Also, living alone is scary sometimes.
Scary? Why?
When you hear a strange noise at night.
Oh, yes. When you're in bed and you hear creak, you think, what was that?
And because you're alone, you have to check. You cannot ask your roommate to check.
That is a very good point. I am not brave. I do not like strange noises.
So freedom's good, but loneliness is bad. What about the cost, Sarah?
Oh, the cost. That is a big problem. Living alone is very expensive.
It is. You have to pay the rent by yourself. You have to pay for the internet, the water, and the electricity.
When you live with others, you can share these bills. It's much cheaper.
Yes, when I moved into my own apartment, my bank account was very sad.
I believe you. So living alone is great for freedom, but bad for your money.
That's a good summary. Okay, so let's talk about the other side, living with people.
This could be living with family, a partner, or roommates. We call them flatmates in the UK, right?
Yes, in the US they say roommates, in the UK they say flatmates, but it is the same thing.
So, Mark, you lived with roommates for 5 years. Was it fun?
Honestly, yes, it was very fun. I lived with two of my best friends.
That sounds like a party every day.
Sometimes it was a party. The best part was the company. I was never bored.
That is nice. If you want to watch a movie, you have someone to watch with you.
Exactly. And we cooked dinner together. It is nicer to eat with people.
Cooking for one person is boring. Cooking for 3 people is fun.
We also helped each other. If I was sick, my roommate went to the store to buy medicine for me.
That is very important. It's good to have support.
But it was not always perfect.
I knew there was a but. What was the problem?
The problem is people are different. Everyone has different habits.
Can you give me an example?
The biggest problem was always the kitchen.
Let me guess. Dirty dishes?
Yes, dirty dishes. I like a clean kitchen. My roommate did not like a clean kitchen.
Oh no, that is the classic roommate fight.
He cooked dinner and he left the plates in the sink for 2 days.
2 days? That is terrible.
It made me very angry. I said, "Please wash your dishes." He said, "I will do it later." But later never came.
I understand. When you live with people, you have to compromise. You have to accept their bad habits.
And the bathroom. Sharing a bathroom is difficult.
Especially in the morning. Everyone needs to shower before work.
Yes, I needed to shower at 8 a.m., but my roommate was in the bathroom for 30 minutes.
Did you knock on the door?
I did. I shouted, "Please, hurry up." It was stressful.
When you live alone, the bathroom is always free. That is a luxury.
It really is. What about you, Sarah? You live with your husband. Is that different from roommates?
It is a little different because we're family, but we still have the same problems.
Really? Like what?
Well, the temperature. The temperature of the room.
Ah, the heating and the air conditioning.
Yes, I am always cold. I want the house to be warm.
And your husband?
He is always hot. He wants to open the window.
So one person opens the window and the other person closes the window.
Exactly. We fight about the thermostat all the time. It's a small fight, but it happens every winter.
This is the hard part of living with others. You lose some control.
Yes, you cannot do only what you want. You must ask the other person, is it okay if I play music? Is it okay if I invite a friend?
You have to be polite.
Yes, but I think living with others teaches you patience.
That's a beautiful thought. It teaches you how to share.
And it teaches you how to solve problems. If you are angry about the dishes, you have to talk. You cannot just ignore it.
That's true. It's good for your communication skills.
So, Mark, if you had to choose today, living alone or living with roommates, which do you choose?
That's a hard question. Right now, I choose living alone. I really love my quiet time.
Even with the high rent?
Yes, for me, it's worth the money. What about you?
I prefer living with others. I don't like being alone at night. I like the noise of a family in the house.
It makes the house feel like a home.
Yes, exactly. It feels warm.
Okay, listeners, we are almost finished. But first, let's look at 2 important words we used today.
Yes, the vocabulary spotlight. What is our first word, Mark?
The first word is freedom. Freedom.
Freedom means you can do what you want. Nobody controls you.
Exactly. Example sentence: when I live alone, I have the freedom to eat pizza in bed.
I still think that is a bad idea, Mark. Okay, what is the second word?
The second word is messy. Messy.
Messy is the opposite of clean. If your room is messy, there are clothes on the floor.
Example sentence: my roommate was very messy. He never washed the dishes.
Great. Freedom and messy. Try to use these words this week, everyone.
So we want to hear from you. The question for this episode is, do you prefer living alone or living with others?
And why? Is it because of the freedom or because of the company?
Please write your answer in the comments. We read every comment.
Yes, we do. Thank you for listening to the English Brothers Podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are on YouTube.
Or follow us on Spotify. See you next time.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye!